All right. Welcome to Gen X Rated Thursday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Very disappointed. Very disappointed.
What?
The rapture didn't happen.
Ah,
I didn't
you
get
know what?
raptured up to be among the saved. So, yeah.
I forgot
Guessing
about
there were a
that.
lot of people yesterday that were extremely disappointed. The ones that didn't bother paying their mortgage, maybe showing up for their trial dates, didn't pay the credit card bill because why do I have to? I'm going to sit by God. Yeah. So,
Wow,
oh
tough break.
well.
I did see that. Oddly enough, no rapture on the rainy day, and today it's beautifully sunny, and we're still not rapturing.
No rapture as of yet. Yeah.
Well, not for
Yeah.
lack of trying, buddy.
Hashtag disappointing.
Yeah. Well, you're probably lucky it didn't happen, okay? You weren't having your best day.
Listen, I'm not going anywhere. It just would have been nice to see all those people go.
Yeah, good point. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. But rapture aside, all kinds of other things that maybe will take us into the apocalypse. Pretty
Well, it
sure you.
reminded me, you remember 6 Feet Under, how they used to do like the cold opening? They would show like somebody dying in a generally a bizarre or way that you didn't expect, and they showed the one where those two it's two guys. They've got a pickup truck full of like female blow up dolls. Right, they're going to some kind of bachelor party. They're delivering it, and the tarp over the back of the truck. The dolls are filled with helium, and they're driving along, and the tarp over the back of the truck becomes loose, and the dolls start floating out, and this one woman wanders into the street, and she's like, the rapture, and she gets hit by a car.
Oh, jeez. Didn't see that coming.
Kind of reminded me of that.
Nice. Yeah,
That was a
those were
great
pretty.
show.
That was a really good show, and you never knew whether it was the guy at the factory falling into the mixer, or maybe the oven, or the guy at the pool hitting his head on the diving board. I mean, you never knew.
Or the guy's wife who wandered outside because she needed to get the cell phone reception, and a chunk of blue ice fell out of an airplane.
Jeez,
Yeah.
really didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to your point, you never know what's going to come next. Put this guy up here. This was kind of weird news today. Now, Russia's been messing around, Russia and China, but in particular, Russia's been messing around quite a bit with Alaska, getting kind of closer to home. Uh, Alaska, they feel is kind of theirs anyway. But we had a bunch of jets yesterday have to kind of scurry up there and keep an eye on those guys. I don't know what they're testing. Maybe they're testing Trump's allegiance. I'm not sure. But today, Hegseth is having hundreds of generals and admirals come to D.C. Urgent meeting, 800 generals and admirals. No stated reason why they're coming. So you're taking some people that are in war conflicts, conflict zones, or overseas in general, and you're bringing them back here. Nobody really knows why, but it does raise security concerns because they're like, you're taking all this brain trust and bringing them to DC. Like, this is just not something that's done. Very strange. So a lot of people's senses are tingling, their spidey senses, based on what this guy's trying to do.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever he's up to, it's either stupid or just nefarious. I don't know. That guy, he's a lunatic, man. He really is. That guy he's a Christian nationalist. He's racist. He's a misogynist, and he's completely out of his element. He's a complete boob.
Yeah. Well, in this administration, you don't lose your job for being a boob. You can make
You get promoted.
tiny face. You can laugh at people elected to Congress that are asking you questions in committee. It really
Oh my
doesn't
God.
matter.
He never did answer the question.
No.
And by the end, if you're talking about the same thing, the same video that I saw, she's like, "Oh my God." She just basically threw up her hands because he wouldn't answer a yes or no question.
Sure. And he calls everything fake news. So we'll
Yeah.
see what this is going to come about. I mean, I saw a weird group of fully in uniform Marines doing some kind of ritual around the White House flagpole early in the morning. Nobody really knows what's going on. It's kind of strange.
You sure they weren't emulating the little dance that the statue of Trump and Epstein that appeared on the White House lawn and
That
was
was
taken
removed.
away?
That was removed before sunup. I'm not really sure. I saw the little drills they were doing. It was some kind of ode to the flag, but I did see them talking with Trump. I didn't put the two together until I saw it today, but I don't know. Really bizarre, this allegiance that some have to this gentleman. But
Oh, I know.
but we'll see. I mean, Hegseth, is on all these tangents. I mean, as soon as he came in, he reduced four-star generals by 20%. His whole thing: more generals don't make equal, or don't doesn't equal more success. The warrior ethos that he's trying to get to here. He also decided to terminate the Defense Advisory Committee on Women in the Services, which was started in 1951 to see how women could help in the service. But he feels their divisive feminist agenda is just not working with the warrior ethos.
Oh my God. That's so insulting.
It really is.
It's just pathetic. You know what? Just re-enlist, buddy. Just
Yeah,
re-enlist. You can be a warrior too, but you better
for
learn how
sure.
to do those pull-ups.
Yeah, so nobody's yelling at you.
Yeah, and
That
you won't pass the fitness test doing those half-ass push-ups either. Those were
no
pretty good.
way. And just for the record, that committee, it's about the budget's 1.1 million a year, which really seems like nothing when all this tariff money is just rolling in billions.
It's
of
rolling
tariff.
in a sea of tariff money.
I mean, we have so much tariff money that which we as consumers paid into to make up for the costs, that we're now going to turn that over to the farmers. We're going to buy out the farmers with a little cashish.
When I saw something interesting, that there's a rather large percentage of family farms that are actually very wealthy, and farming isn't their main business.
Imagine
But
that
you can bet that they're going to be in line for the
bailout.
bailout money. Yeah.
Well, we're paying for the bailout. It's all coming off these tariffs. And Trump's motivation was that he's going to take care of them for now until the tariffs kick in. But
What?
prior to that, he just said he brought in, sir, 31 billion. And then the same sentence that turned to 31 million. So, I mean, I think the bottom line is this whole thing is a distraction from the Epstein files.
Oh my God. Well, KK Caroline is still talking about the escalator at the UN. And, the UN was like, yeah, it looks like one of the White House videographers tripped the safety switch, so you don't get caught like I did at the zoo that time when I decided it was a great idea to sit down, and then I couldn't get up and my shirt got ripped off. But you know what? I didn't make a federal case out of it.
Yeah.
But, her and her pal Jesse Waters Waters wants to blow up the UN, and she's like, we're investigating very seriously, and people will be held accountable. Like, settle down. Settle down.
The
For people of our
teleprompter.
generation, it's like Frank Burns and Hot Lips Houlihan plotting in their tent. I mean, Jesus
That is
Christ.
so true.
There's just such little pea brains, mean-spirited, paranoid pea brains.
Well, and she's really getting into her element now. You put her in prime time, boy, on Jesse's show, and she was really putting it all out there. And it's all just nonsense. It seems
It
like
is
such a waste of
nonsense.
time.
People are going to be. Trump wasn't even that upset about it.
Well, he said Melania could have gotten hurt. Okay, you know when an escalator stops like that? Oh, the force that can throw you. In the same breath, he said he was in amazing shape too. If anything, Melania just looked irritated. A look that she generally gives him daily if she sees him daily. She seemed fine. You know what you do when the escalator stops? You start
You walk.
walking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still stairs, but why should the leader of the free world? He could have been hurt. They even went as far as to say that it kept him confined in a spot for a minute. I mean, something could have happened.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
That's pathetic.
So just more distractions. As you watch the economy, they talked about the jobs update. It was worse job loss than they thought. 1.2 million jobs gone, and that was since April of 2024. Granted, he'll tell you all day it's Biden's economy, but you're in the seat, buddy. Start stepping up. Starbucks, we talked about their CEO got that huge salary to come there, and now they're closing hundreds of stores. They're laying off 900 jobs because they're just doing $1 billion restructure because Starbucks just isn't what it was, and it's probably not the CEO's fault. So,
Well, and it's funny because I just heard an ad for them this morning on a podcast I was listening to, and they were saying that, that now they're providing full tuition coverage for all employees.
Really?
But we're going to lay everybody off, so there won't be any employees.
Yeah.
Problem solved. And I did see that they were like restructuring their training program too, making, make longer eye contact, be more friendly.
Put Charlie on every cup.
Yeah, put Charlie on every cup. Like, I don't know. I mean, Starbucks is okay, but it's I like it. It's fine,
Sure.
but it's not my first choice. There's several local places I like way better. The coffee's better. It's actually a little bit less expensive, but mainly because the coffee's better.
Well, we've talked about this. We won't name any names, but the place you've been going to lately, there's just a vibe to it. People actually make eye contact without having it in the company manual. They actually seem engaged to their job. They have somebody comes in, even if they're in the back doing dishes, they come out. I don't know. It's very welcoming, and it's you feel like it matters. I go to Starbucks. $8, please. I'm not saying I don't like their coffee per se, but it's just a run-of-the-mill corporate experience.
Well, and usually the people are so frazzled, they're busy trying to work the drive-through, handle all of the online orders, and deal with, the customer traffic, and they don't have time to really stop and chat, which
Well,
I
that's a
get.
good point.
I mean, they're completely overworked and underpaid.
When you know how long it takes to make a frappuccino?
That's the crazy thing, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm sounding like a boomer, which I'm not. But dude, I just want coffee. I don't want, if I want dessert, I'll go to Andy's, or I'll get, I don't need a fancy sugar-filled whipped cream, whatever the fuck that shit is. I just want coffee.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
you're
want
in
good
the
coffee.
wrong place.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's the Gen Z alpha, snack shop, apparently.
Well, and it's expensive. I mean, that's kind of the problem. But my point to yours is that these guys are overworked. It takes them a good 5 minutes to produce that drink. You got, you know, various pumps that got to go in there. Then we're icing it up. Then we're adding.
And and guaranteed, man, especially when I'm in line, there's always some Karen in front of me that wants that extra pump, no foam, half calf. Like, it's always this insanely complicated order. And I'm sure they just give her the regular drink anyway. They
Well,
just drag their feet making it so it looks like they're putting more time into it, because that's what I would do.
yeah. Well, it's kind of their customer base. That person that knows their order by heart, they're there all the time. They would be the priority, right?
Well, I'm just saying, like, just the super weird order that's super specific, and I've got to have this, that, and the other. It's like, oh my God.
Half calf. I love it. So I did want to talk about, the government. Well, let me just say the 20 billion that we're going to give to Argentina. We're making Argentina great again. I think you can still use MAGA, but it's to make Argentina great again. We want to stabilize their failing economy. That really doesn't sound like America First to me. It sounds like a ton of cash, as we're now bailing out the farmers because of it. And we have this looming government shutdown, which Trump just wants to apply to the Democrats. It's on them. And in the same foray, he's saying we're going to fire 1.9 million people. If they give us the opportunity to shut down the government, we're firing people, man. So the Democrats, their biggest thing is that they want to protect health care for millions of families. This comes back to Medicaid, which I know some people don't think that they're on it even when they are.
Yep.
But that's all they're asking for is, hey, come back to the table. We'll discuss the shutdown, but this has to be part of it. Healthcare, Medicaid has to be part of it. So Kevin Hegseth, who's the smiling White House National Economic Council director, you want to punch in the face, calls the Democrats' request silly, embarrassingly silly. I don't think wanting people to stay on the healthcare rolls is embarrassing or silly, but
No.
I guess when you're already on the team and you're getting this golden healthcare, you don't really care about these other people. And just to say, you're looking at 22.3 million Americans will either be cut from SNAP or receive smaller benefits. There's no positive in that statement. I'm sorry.
No, there really isn't. And again, this is the pro-life crowd, man. They care more about the fetus than they do about the actual kid that, isn't going to have lunch without SNAP.
Yeah.
They really don't care.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. To that point, Doge fired all those workers. Now they're going to have to rehire hundreds of these Fed workers that were laid off or fired by Doge. Doge was the waste, fraud, and abuse, clearly. What a
Yeah.
joke. What a
But
joke.
apparently Trump and Elon are back to at least being on speaking terms again.
I think they were always pretty tight. The issue was that it was affecting Tesla. So he wanted to distance himself, even though they were still compadres. Listen, uh, Musk knows all the secrets. There are no secrets. He knows about, oh, you would be down in the Senate 51-49 if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't have won all the swing states if it wasn't for me. I mean,
Mhm.
it's all together, and it's all about the upper crust that doesn't really deal with us. But I don't think he ever left his side because he knows too much, obviously.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
So we'll see how it goes. Trump was giving another talk today, which just went on and on and on. I think he had
Well,
somebody from. Go ahead.
I was going to say you mentioned it on Tuesday, but all those people at that rally that were streaming out when Trump got up to speak at the Charlie
They
Kirk
were,
Memorial, they were
yeah,
leaving, just
yeah,
streaming out as Trump went on and on and on as Trump does. But and it was interesting because so it was written. I think it was on Salon or Slate. But basically, the reporter was just saying that it's pretty clear that the GOP is not about Trump or not for much longer. This is more about Christian nationalism
yeah.
because that's what they want to hear, man. They want to hear that Christian nationalist message from the prayer warriors. They don't want to hear Peepaw Pissy Pants droning on and on about making it all about him. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And, and JD is up there and man, he's all in, even though he was, he's Catholic, which isn't evangelical. Um, but he's also universally unpopular. So I don't know, man. It should be interesting to see how this kind of plays out, especially, they call Trump a lame duck. I don't know that he plans on leaving, but
Yeah, I don't think he plans on leaving. And you ask Republicans, and they'll tell you probably the same thing. They'd love him to stay. I mean, Lindsey Graham's tickled pink. Um, no pun intended. But to your point, yes, they were streaming out once he started going on and on and on and on. They weren't that interested in that. He spoke towards the end to pretty much an empty crowd, an empty stadium. The Stephen Miller's what really gets them going, and it was pointed out that he stole from two of Goebbels' speeches. He
hmm
plagiarized right from Goebbels. Like, I mean, we talked the other day about the Congress member that was quoting Goebbels. Like, what is happening here?
I have no idea, but it's downright chilling. I mean, first of all, these people are creeps, and the fact that Stephen Miller is Jewish and had relatives that died in the Holocaust, and yet there he is, and he's starting to look more and more like Goebbels. Actually, a cross between Goebbels and Roy Cohn.
George the Animal
Who,
Steel.
no, Roy Cohn, Trump's mentor, who was a
Yeah, he was an
notoriously
ugly motherfucker.
disgusting, horrible person. Yeah, as physically gross as he was, his personality and his code of conduct was even more disgusting. But
Terrible
that was
person.
Trump's mentor.
Yeah.
Always be on the tack, never accept blame for anything. And ironically, he died of AIDS.
Whoa. We'll come back to that thought in a minute. Um, Part of his speech today just kept going on and on from the Oval Office, which was packed, I might add. But some of the highlights were that Obama should face justice for treason. Not really sure where that comes out. He went on to attack Crockett about being dumb, low IQ. Um, he said the same thing yesterday about Kamala Harris, dumb, low IQ. I mean, what's the correlation here? You could probably figure that out.
Oh, they're both women of color.
Yes. And both highly educated, which terrifies him.
Oh my
Uh,
God, yeah, they run rings around him.
and then they're going on this whole tantrum about, oh, there he is, about the left. And this is the scary part to me. 70% of all political violence is committed by right wing extremists, which we know the Department of Justice took down the report. When that was brought to Megyn Kelly in a Charlie Kirk style setting where students were allowed to talk to her, she just shuts you down. She tells you your information's bad, you don't know. it's all about the left wing. She said, "You're lying. You have no point." Then she talks about, the bullet casings or fill in the blank. The bullet casings said that this guy was trans. I'm talking about the shooter at Kirk. The family said it. The Utah governor said it. Like, you're not giving me any sources that would actually confirm what you're saying.
Well, there's
other
no
than
proof.
your opinion.
How can you prove that? Where's your proof? That's
Well,
what I'd
there
like to
isn't.
know.
Yeah, there isn't any. They just talk. Kristi Noem suggested that Dems should be considered terrorists. I mean, like, what are we doing here? Left, right,
Yeah,
center?
I don't know. I haven't seen very many Dems with masks and body armor jumping out of SUVs and hauling people away or roughing them up. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I haven't seen much of that from the left.
Radical left, I think, is what you meant to say.
The radical left.
And then that does bring us to the shooting that we had yesterday. I mean, what else is new in America? But they went after an ICE facility. Interestingly enough, a couple of detainees were wounded. One was killed. The shooter took himself out. Let me see if I have a photo of him. Well, this is the one. This is the one that they want to share with you because, again, Kash Patel. I'm starting to wonder about Twitter because everything that's nonsense, that's his source. We've never had an FBI director that put out more evidence and stuff that would taint it before any sort of trial as this guy. So here's the shooter, Joshua John, 29-year-old. This shooting was in Dallas outside an ICE facility. You can see on the bullet there, it says anti-ICE. The bombs that they dropped during the war and even Israel, they write stuff on there. It's really not that tame. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I mean, they would write things like, fuck Hitler on, the bombs that they would drop over Europe or on the artillery shells.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I mean, if you're planning on doing a crime like that, why do you even waste time writing on a bullet casing?
Well, and this was found on the roof along with the shooter who killed himself. His family was contacted pretty quickly. The mom couldn't really talk. She was just surprised. The brother said that he was basically, he was a registered independent. He had no radical left ties, which is what Abbott said and J.D. Vance said and Noem and Trump. I'll chastise this kid as being this left-leaning whatever. But his brother was like, he was no marksman. And he was in disbelief that he could even do this because he just didn't have any feelings for ICE or he wasn't even that political.
Yeah, it's interesting because they interviewed some of his friends who he'd been pretty close with, and he was big into 4chan, big into online gaming. But his friends that he'd known for a while said that he had just become more increasingly off-putting. He was basically just trolling anyone and everything, and he just got really tough to hang out with. He got to the point where they're like, dude, it's just too much. And his friends kind of drifted away and he kind of drifted off into himself, became a loner. Took a shot at stand-up, which didn't end very well. They played a clip of his 3-minute open mic stand-up and it was not good. It made the Joker's performance, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker in the movie right before he shot Bob De Niro. Yeah, it made that look funny.
Well, comedy's not for everybody, I guess. But
they say dying's easy, but comedy's hard.
This guy was on the roof at 6:20 in the morning. The van with detainees is coming in, and he's just shooting randomly. The one that was killed was literally inside the van. And it reminds me a lot of, and I don't know how many shots were fired, they didn't say, but if he had those casings left that he didn't use, that was 4. It was nothing compared to the CDC that got shot up. And Trump said nothing about that. He didn't even show up for the funeral of the African-American that was killed during this guy that was working security there that was killed. And that was a right-wing person that felt like the COVID shot vaccination messed him up and he wasn't right. And he was going to shoot up the CDC. I mean, does that sound left-wing? I mean, most people on the left are okay with vaccinations.
Yeah. It just makes no sense.
Not a word was spoken. So you just can't have it both ways. And I feel like we're getting into an area where they're just having it both ways themselves. Oh, we're not going to talk about this because you did that. I mean, it's just too much. It's too
Well,
much.
and yeah, they've definitely got an agenda, and they're gonna, propagandize anything and everything that they can.
And speaking of the CDC, I mean, that's another thing where they're going to cut funding 53%. They're eliminating 61 programs. They're laying off another 16% of staff. We know Doge went in there right away to take care of the CDC and get rid of people. But this reduces disease prevention, which is one of our greatest defenses to all these chronic illnesses, which is what we have. It's a great threat to us as a society. But once Trump got the Superman shot, he doesn't really seem to care. The interesting part is that 80% of the CDC funding flows to state and local departments. So you're like, oh, the CDC, the feds cut federal abuse and fraud and whatever. No, this is what comes down to you and your community. This is your healthcare. Maybe it's not addressed as Medicaid, but they are putting money through the CDC to get into your local healthcare.
Yeah.
Not interested. So we'll see. This really hits rural Americans the most, which, again, you kind of vote for this. Obviously, people that are, financially insecure, anybody in poverty, it's going to affect you too, which people don't seem to care. And the bigger event is that we have the World Cup coming, which you better be preparing. You have people, it's an international event, all kinds of people coming here that you could have an outbreak of fill in the blank. I mean, we already have tuberculosis running over here. We got measles going nuts. Like, we don't care about COVID.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see like how this goes if they even actually pull it off. I mean, who would want to come here for that?
I know. I was hoping it wouldn't come here. It seems like it's going to be kind of embarrassing. At the same time, you have RFK Jr. canceling hundreds of millions in pediatric research. But here's the good news. In Florida, this gem dandy gave the first lady of Florida. Apparently, Florida has $1 billion of money for cancer research. I think that was kind of what she was dipping her paws into, if you recall that outbreak of her. Whoops, that's not her. Jeez,
Whoops.
Man. There she is. Anyway, she wants to do some investigating into generic drugs, one in particular, ivermectin. And maybe you remember that from the COVID outbreak. But
Yeah.
Ivermectin is going to be the new cure for cancer now.
Whoa.
I know.
Maybe she should win a Nobel Prize.
You know what? You make a valid point. So we'll see.
Isn't she the same person that had her entire social media presence just scrubbed, so nobody knows much of anything about her?
Yeah.
I didn't know it had genius level PhD cancer expert on there, but
hey, if the money's there and we can put it somewhere closer to my wallet, I'm all in. I mean, she's already been accused of taking money. That was nothing new.
How impressive.
She's super impressive. You're right. How she does that and makes her husband wear those white boots as he prances around. That was classic.
Yeah.
And I accidentally put up Lindsay. We're going to jump to her real quick because she is a real gem herself. We talked about this on Tuesday that Trump appointed Lindsay Halligan to be the Southeastern Virginia prosecutor because the one before wouldn't do what he wanted, which was to try and put Comey on trial. Comey did these things. What was it? It was called Crossfire Hurricane. Maybe you remember that. And it was about the Trump campaign colluding with Russian operatives to beat Hillary. Many documentaries out there. I mean, this isn't just made up nonsense. I know the red hats tell you it's crazy. But they want to prosecute Comey for lying under oath in 2020. And it's about to expire. There's 5 years, I think, that they can hold him to it. So Trump had to get this woman in quickly. We already know that she's a pageant runner-up, which is impressive. The person that they got rid of, that Siebert guy, he had worked 675 federal cases. This woman has worked 3. She was the senior associate staff secretary at the White House. Sounds important.
Very important.
For that. Her last thing, she was leading the Smithsonian cleanup, which was to take any, pictures that we think are not good for America or positive light. Let's do that. So that's what she was doing. But now she's got a really big boy job, and she's going to go after Comey. He will be indicted before Tuesday. I can almost guarantee that, for lying to Congress, which anybody in Trump's cabinet, that's all they do under oath is lie to Congress.
I know, right?
So now that's a thing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting though, and I just find it. You're connecting these dots, and it's just too much. I mean, she's a litigator out of Florida defending insurance companies against homeowners. Like, this is a big step, and it really seems like you should have somebody maybe a little bit more qualified. But in this administration or regime, that's not the direction we go.
It's not. And here's the thing, this is all out of spite. Let it go. Actually, if Comey did anything in that campaign, he helped you.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
reopened the whole Hillary thing and threw it out there. I mean,
and
it was baseless. So
9 days before an election.
Yeah. So while I'm against what they're doing, I don't feel sorry for Comey in the least bit.
No way.
I think what they're doing is bullshit. It's just petty and vindictive and spiteful and probably illegal.
Probably. But, again, he just puts his people in. I'll put this up because you'll see, he's just got his little entourage of people. There she is with Caroline. And like I said last night, and Bondi. And last night, Caroline was really getting it going, really trying to get people pissed off about this, that, and the other. And it generally works. So good job. But to me, it all seems like propaganda. There's Comey. There's the new lady. Trump really caught his eye when she came in a suit. This is her tennis outfit, not to be confused. The suit she was wearing. It's just on brand, I guess, is the easiest thing to say.
Yeah, it's so on brand.
He's got a type. Okay.
Definitely got a type, although they look a little bit old for him.
Whoa! Shots fired.
Release those files.
So I had one other guy I wanted to talk about because this has gone on and on and on and on. This is Oklahoma Superintendent Ryan Walters. I'm sure you remember old Rhino.
Oh yeah, this guy.
So he's resigning. He was the guy that put a Trump Chinese Bible in every public school. And what other crazy things did he do? He
betting every teacher that wants to teach in Oklahoma.
That's right. If you came from a liberal state, you had to pass the America First certification exam. Just crazy stuff. And he was the one that wanted to have a Charlie Kirk chapter in every public school, demanding it. And I think that was a line too far, but it did ingratiate him to the people that hired him on. He's going to go work for the Teachers Freedom Alliance. And their whole mission is to develop free, moral, and upright American citizens while crushing teachers' unions. Okay, we're going to destroy them. We're going to build an army of teachers to defeat the teachers union once and for all. Like, when did the teachers union become such a terrible identity?
Dude, this guy, it sounds like a bunch of groomers wanted to get together and infiltrate classrooms, because that dude looks like the most self-hating, closeted gay man ever. And I guarantee you I won't guarantee anything, but I would not be surprised if he's got a Grindr account.
And he was in Glendale the other day. I'm sure you're probably right. So the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation wanted this guy to be the education secretary, which would have been horrifying. He's a big rejecter of separation of church and state, which is a little bit crazy. And I just want to point out that Oklahoma in education is 50th. Not great. So this guy's just kind of fits with the mold too, because he's been on Fox News 400 times in the last 2 years. So he likes to get it out there. He likes to get a rise. I think the reason he had to resign is because when he had a meeting, they had a board meeting, and when the people came in, he had a projector of pornography going on. Yeah. They didn't say what type. Could have been anything. I'm
Could have
not
been anything,
judging,
sure.
but there's a time and a place, and maybe that's not something you do during a meeting. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's something you do in your private time. No judgment, but maybe do that at home in your,
I couldn't agree more.
yeah.
So Ryan Walters is on his way to going after teachers unions, and he left Oklahoma uh, last in education. So great job. Great job, everybody.
What a winner.
He's a real winner. And I just want to say again that all of this stuff is a distraction. I saw in the from Epstein, I saw in the European press, um, and this is more like a ongoing story that came July when this Epstein stuff started coming out. They went in full panic mode. I mean, Trump thought this would blow over. He didn't think, why is everybody so interested in this? But there's so much to this, and there's so many people involved, and it's not a GOP thing by any means. But now he's really concerned. He's got Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's got Boebert, and Mace even wanting these files released. So his big threat yesterday to the GOP was, if you guys push this, I'm going to expose every homosexual in Congress.
Talking to you, Lindsey Graham.
Oh, Lindsey Graham's like, more Trump. This is the most amazing thing ever. 2028.
You know what, Lindsey? We already know, and we don't care.
And nobody cares.
You're just making it worse.
Yeah.
Why do you put yourself through this and us?
I couldn't agree more. And I feel like if they would just, show who they are, if they're giving things to their constituents, they'll be fine. Nobody cares about your gayness or lack thereof. They just want you to do your job.
Yeah.
But, the grift is always going. With that Arizona special election victory, they do have 218 votes. This will come to the floor in the House, where they will release the files unless Trump's able to do something crazy. Maybe that's why 800 generals and admirals are coming to D.C. tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't think war-wise, when you have enemies as big as China and Russia, that you bring your whole brain trust to one area and announce it. That seems kind of sketch and not real smart. But Hegseth isn't a serious person, so
he's not. No, he's a serious stooge for Trump. That's as serious as he gets.
He is. He's pretty awful. So it's not going away. People want to know. People should know, and this has to change. I mean, this has gone on for way too long, and people have gotten away with way too much, and they've gotten more and more powerful, and that's a real problem.
Yeah, it is. And if you've got nothing to hide, why are you throwing up distraction after increasingly desperate distraction?
Yeah. Well, he has a ton to hide.
Apparently so, but like he said, it was the 90s, man. Everybody was doing it.
I don't think everybody was having relations with children.
Yeah.
I don't think they were trafficking children. We talked about this Tuesday. I mean, Miss Kirk can't even go into Romania because children came up missing, trafficking of children. Do your homework, do your own research, tie these things together. Her father helped design Trump Tower.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was part of the pageants, as was the new Virginia lady, Halliday, also part of pageantry. I mean, we're kind of going backwards, and it's very frustrating. This Halligan, 36 years old. All I can really say is that I feel like the only hope we have, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is these files coming out, because I think we can all, as a nation, agree to how despicable, and we can give voice to the victims. If we can't do that, we don't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And I hate to be disappointed, but I just feel like it would take something we can all agree upon. We're not all going to agree on free enterprise. We're not all going to agree that you should have healthcare as a basic right. Clearly, we're not going to be able to agree on wealth inequality. We can't even agree on the environment. I mean, Trump's telling people that it's a hoax, and then his spokesman gets on our news stations and says what a grift it was. Oh, the money was going through a Palestinian organization. Like, come on, guys, really?
And they're so bad at this. That's the crazy part.
They're terrible
at it.
But the people that follow them don't really dig or aren't super concerned about these issues. So for them, it's just a matter of we're winning, we're powerful, and my guy's the big winner.
Yeah. So, you can sit by your mailbox and wait for your Trump check, or you can, hey, just take that Trump IOU the next time you need to have surgery or see the doctor, because, I'm sure that'll cover it.
Well, and
Probably
again,
not.
to the greater plan, you have Stephen Miller wants to trim 200 million Americans out of this country anyway. So,
Maybe
what
he should
better
lead
way
the
to do
way.
that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Maybe he should lead the way.
No way. They get the best health care. It's going to be the schlubs like you and I. You're going to limit your health care. We're going to take away your jobs and let the environment do its thing.
Listen, he'd be a perfect fit in the Netanyahu cabinet,
Yeah.
hateful as he is.
And I don't understand that quarrel either. He said there'll never be a statehood for Palestine, and I just don't really understand why they can't have their own little section.
I don't know. It's yeah, it's really discouraging, and it's it's an argument that goes way back, even prior to Israel's establishment. But um, yeah, it's mind-boggling. It really is, and it's sad, and it's I don't even know what to say. I mean, these are people that um, this was their land. They were living there,
Yeah.
and they were forced off. In some cases, they were murdered. Their farms were plowed under. I mean, stolen land, but I guess they took it out of the American genocidal playbook. So
So it's okay. Well, and keep in mind that the right wing, like the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Boberts, they get it. They see that Israel has free education, that Israel has free healthcare. These people are given money just to read the Torah, etc. They're not
Mhm.
actually working per se, and we don't have that here, and we're funding that greatly. The rumor that came out, and I've heard it the last 2 days, is that when Netanyahu spoke to his cabinet, he said he owns the U.S. He owns Trump, and I
Yeah,
don't think that that's surprising because we're seeing that with Russia as well, and clearly China being chummy with Russia. Everybody knows the dirty little secret except for us. P tape all you want, but the reality is that they have video of him being physical, uh, you know, fill in the blank. And that's what's leading us. And we're just following along because we have blind faith in a guy that really doesn't care about us.
yeah.
Some
He
of
doesn't care
us.
about anybody except himself. Everything is transactional.
Yeah, very good point. So you're right. We've said for months that Palestinians and Jews are cousins. Learn to get along. You come from the same family. You know what? People, haters, and other areas hate both of you. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe we can make that something you have in common that everybody dislikes both of you. How about that?
yeah. There you go.
I mean, it's just crazy. So, anyway, enough of that. I can't really go on about the Middle East, but I do find all these distractions a little concerning because that's kind of by design, and I feel like it's hiding what could really help us unite and maybe get back on firmer ground, which is something we need to get our civil liberties back, and just the legal process is flying out the window.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope right now. We are not in a very good place.
And I think a lot of people are aware of it. It's just going to take something to give you that little push to say, "Hey, enough already." Uh,
Yeah. Well, and I'd like to think that there are more of us than there are of them.
sure, 22%. That's not enough to rule the world. So let's assert ourselves and be better.
Hmm.
So anyway, to put that aside, my happy ending, which I'm jumping to, is Paul Skeens. Pirates blew a lead last night, so he didn't get the win. He did finish the season 10-10. His ERA was at 197, which is unheard of. Um, he should definitely be the Cy Young winner on a terrible team, which says a lot about him. And
Yeah.
part of my happier ending was that I saw him today. You know those squeegees they used to have at tennis courts? If the courts were wet, you could roll those things. They look like
Oh, yeah.
he was doing that in the bullpen today. I mean, is there anything this guy doesn't do or put himself down in the dirt to do? Like, he's not above anything. He works hard. He's extremely intense. Um, I just, he's an easy guy to admire when we're sitting in this cesspool of slop.
Oh, yeah. And, hopefully the Pirates can figure out a way to keep him around for a while before he, gets lured away by New York or LA.
I think to his character, he would stay, but they need to have a plan.
They do.
He's a loyal guy and he loves a challenge, but he wants to win. So if you're not going to give him the opportunity by throwing some money at a big bat, they have a pitching staff. I think we've seen that. It's not the skiing show only. I mean, he's the best pitcher in baseball, no doubt. But they have a lot of talent in that on that roster, pitching wise. Get some bats. Do right by this guy and the fans of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they could have been competitive this year if they had a competent GM. But this guy's clearly in over his head. His 5-year plan has failed spectacularly.
He needs to go. And they talked about a new leadership. I don't know that McCutcheon's going to want to come back to this. He was a great Pirate. He was there. What did I show you that day? It was 2014 when they clinched that playoff. He was in center field. He was a young man 11 years ago, but he can't stay around forever. And he wants to win as well. They have the talent. They could bring back a strong Pirate tradition, but management has to want that. Ownership has to want that, not just the fans. So
that's true.
And lastly, the Steelers are in Ireland. They're playing the Vikings this weekend. That'll be an 8:30 Central Time, 8:30 a.m. game on Sunday morning. So you better get your fantasy roster.
That's right. Get your lineup set early.
So that's kind of exciting. The only question I will ask about that is apparently the Viking fans travel pretty well. I saw one of your sportscasters that you like talking about this, DK. Steelers obviously travel. Steeler Nation's amazing. But the point was you're going to Ireland, but you're filling the stadium with Viking and Steeler fans. You're not really growing the game, spreading the game when it's just fans traveling that would have traveled to, Atlanta, whatever, fill in the blank.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's completely correct. I mean, it's an 80,000 seat stadium, I think. So, I mean, people there are enthusiastic.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, there's going to be, it's not going to be all Americans that jetted over there.
Sure.
So,
but a lot. I think it's 50-50 right now on both teams' fans as far as showing up. So that's a lot of people to begin with.
That's a lot, but yeah, I mean, people there are excited. I remember back in 2001 being in Amsterdam, and I wouldn't say they filled a stadium for the World League, but it was pretty full and it was a very enthusiastic crowd, and I was probably one of the few Americans in that crowd.
Nice.
So Europeans they're into football, man. They want it.
Well, when soccer comes here, the locals come out, I guess was his point. You don't have fans from Liverpool traveling here to fill up the stadium in Pittsburgh. So you actually get the local, the experience locally. And that kind of helps grow the sport. So we'll see. It's on NFL Network only. So if you're up early on Sunday, maybe check it out.
Yeah, and go Steelers.
Go Steelers. All right. Do you have a happy ending before I release you?
No, I'm going to go wait for the rapture.
All right. Maybe tomorrow, buddy. Pretty sunny today.
Who knows?
Well, I appreciate your help in sharing some of this info. And we will not be here Saturday. We'll be on the road. But maybe I'll see you Tuesday.
Okay.
See you next Tuesday, buddy.
I know what that means.
Whatever. All right. Well, thanks again, and have a good rest of your day. I'll catch up with you later. Nice job.
See ya.
See ya.